going to show you a video that that I sent to Dante about 5, maybe 6 years ago. Probably more 6. And he used it in one of his videos. And I just want to share that with you, just to begin with. And then I'll speak more to it. Greetings, Dante. Respect, Azazel. When I was 5 years old, we had just come over to Australia. And it was one of the first dramas that happened to my family. But my father took me into the big city and promised to get me whatever I wanted. And we ended up in a bookshop. Already we were big book people. My family was big into books. And I ended up with asking for an encyclopedia of mythology. And it was a big, thick book. I think it might be still available, Larousse Encyclopedia of Mythology. And it had many of the world mythologies. But I remember even then, particularly, well, the Greek, but the Persian mythology really stuck with me, much more than Slavic, much more than Chinese, probably even more than Norse. And that was my big clue in those early times. I was the oldest of 5 girls. We had no brothers, so it was a very female-dominated family. I grew up in a time where feminism was beginning to take a foothold. And that screwed up my life. Well, it provided the backdrop for some very important lessons. Very painful lessons that I'm still untangling, and hopefully I'm learning those lessons and putting them behind me. I had a lot of disrespect for the masculine.
I know where they come from, and another story behind it. And some of you may say, why are you talking about gays? You're talking here to talk about aliens and no, everything's connected. Everything is connected. And I already talked about it. Everything is connected.
And that screwed up my life. Well, it provided the backdrop for some very important lessons. Very painful lessons that I'm still untangling.
Stop. Are you understanding now? Now, this channel is different from all the others, because this is Carlos' channel. We don't give a shit about the spaceships, what most people today still call UFOs, as if they are unidentified flying objects. Forget about the little lights in the sky, about the ships. I do show it. I posted the video yesterday with a meteor ship. You know, just to keep people entertained, to give them something to watch. Just as a piece of evidence. But the big picture has nothing to do with ships. You know, you still go to YouTube and search or subscribe to channels showing you ships, which for some crazy reason people still call it UFOs, which is unidentified flying objects. There's nothing unidentified about them. There's enough evidence. If I want If I wanted to show you just ships, I would, and I do from time to time, and I show it in other places. But why would I show you pictures of pickup trucks when what's important is the relationship between a man and a woman who own a pickup truck? But the pickup truck has nothing to do with people's relationships. Do you understand what I'm saying? Many people come here looking to see a video of a spaceship. Forget about the spaceship. A spaceship is like a pickup truck or a car or an SUV in a relationship. What's important is the relationship. Here and here in the heart. That's what's important. And the story behind it. Forget about UFOs, the ships. Those are just machines. It doesn't matter. They're like a glass or an ashtray. It's a machine. Stop being obsessed with the ships, or like some people call it UFOs. It doesn't matter. Those are just pieces of metal. It's a machine. Stop being obsessed with the UFO. I can see videos of UFOs, alien ships. It doesn't matter. Fuck's sakes. It doesn't matter. Those are just machines. Like a toaster or a bicycle. What matters is the soul. And above the soul, in here. That's what matters. That's why so many of our videos, 1 hour long videos, people get bored. You shouldn't get bored. Because we are showing you what's important to your soul, to your mind, to your heart, to whom you are, and everything around you, and above you, and beyond you. Forget about the ships and lights in the sky. It's a machine. It's a pickup truck. It's a car. People still, that should be enough for you to understand that what we are showing you is the truth. All by itself. Forget about all these thousands of videos. Just by itself. Think. Who cares about ships? You already know they exist. There's enough evidence. Just machines. Forget about the UFOs. Oh, this is so, it's like people obsessed with cars, and most of people come here obsessed with so-called UFOs and machines. Forget about the machines. They're toasters, they're microwaves. It doesn't matter. What matters is the soul. Not this. This is just flesh and bone. The soul. That's why I've been here for 12 years. Little by little, explain to you all these different races, where they came from, all the things involved, all the connections, the historical connections. I don't give a shit that 500 years ago there was a cannon, then we invented the machine gun. It's not important. What's important is the soul. You are not created with flesh and bone. You were created from a soul, a spirit, a feeling that God has created. Then you came from that feeling into a body. And one day you'll go back to the feeling. But we're very far away from it. Very far. Forget about ships. What you have to really realize is the man in the mirror. which is self-realization of your faults, your good sides, and the God is keeping an eye, one by one, not 10,000 at a time, one by one. She can do that, I cannot do. So yeah, if you're coming here, if you're a new subscriber, you're coming here looking for a plain alien conspiracy theory channel, move on. Because this place where you are right now, if you're listening to me, it's not about UFOs, it's not even about aliens. We show aliens, we show UFOs just to connect dots. This is about you inside, so that the next life you come in a different way. We are teaching you now ways that in your next life you come a little bit better. Doesn't have to be a lot, just a little bit. And on and on and on. And then we'll see what happens. Nobody knows what happens. I don't. If you think you do, good for you. You'll be wrong, but hey, who knows? Maybe you'll be right. There is one aspect that people these days are digging into, and they are closer to the truth that most of the world think, but I'm not allowed yet to dig into it, to explain to you what this aspect is. But even the people who are digging into it, let me tell you, I'll tell you just a little bit. It has to do with what people call astrology. Astrology. It has to do with that. These are getting closer, but even them, they're far away from understanding everything. They think they know it all, and I have many good friends that are into astrology, and they think they know it all right now. Oh, they can read the stars and the constellations and everything, and can tell you what's going to happen in 2 weeks and this and that. No. They are closer to the truth. And because they are closer than most of the people, they think they know it all. They don't. They are closer, but they don't know it all. Before humans or even hybrids get this close, they have to get closer to the Caristos, and we know more than them. And even we, the Caristos, get closer to the total truth. We have to get closer with the Caristos to the goddess, and we're still far away from them. Far away from the knowledge. Okay? Just, admit that you don't know anything. You're learning. I do. Believe it or not, even though I put all these thousands of videos and millions of everything, I know I don't know nothing. I know more than others. But for example, the course know more than the Caristos. Just like the Caristos know more than the humans. We're all learning at different levels. School, some people are on 2nd grade, others 4th grade, others 8th grade, 12th grade, university, whatever, PhD. We're all learning. You just try to learn good and not bad. Just be open to learn more. That's it. Open to learn more. And forget about UFOs. Oh, for fuck's sake. This paranoia on the internet. Everybody wants to see a ship. It's a machine. It's a pickup truck. It's a tractor. It's not about machines. It's about here and here. is this whole alien subject is not about UFOs, it's about ships. Hopefully people will understand that instead of being paranoid about these videos of lights in the sky. That's why I don't show them as much as I could, because it's not a big deal. It's a pickup truck. It's a pickup truck, okay? Focus on the things that really matter, which is you, which is the man in the mirror or the woman in the mirror or whatever you want to call it. It's about you. Like I said before, the world will never change because 20 million people came with the same idea at the same time and they made a change. Never happened. It's one. Starts with one. Starts with you. Starts with me. And I fail every day. But every day I try. And so should you. And forget about your neighbors. Stop talking about the truth. You cannot save your neighbor. You can only save yourself. Maybe 200 years from now, your neighbor will be saved. But it's not going to be you doing it. It will be information. Not you. Your neighbor is going to call you crazy. He's going to hate you. He's going to push you to the side. No more barbecues and football games in the backyard. Don't try to speak too much to people whom you do not know how they think. Think for yourself, accept yourself, feel yourself, change yourself. The rest will take time. You know? Unless you have a dentist appointment, you're in no rush to change what's going on. Because you can't. Love you.
Very painful lessons that I'm still untangling, and hopefully I'm learning those lessons and putting them behind me. I had a lot of disrespect for the masculine. I'm sorry. And that is being corrected by you. The nobility of the masculine, the nobility of warriors. And I feel personal shame for my actions in the past towards many good men. Excuse me. I'm not sure where that came from. Anyway, after having gone through a strong feminist phase and moving that into the spiritual work that I do, as, you know, a lot of goddess stuff. Anyway, a lot of that has come unraveled and untangled, more untangled than unraveled, because there's still a strong foundation, but it's just taken a new direction, a stronger direction, cleaner, purer direction. Thank you for guiding me to that. What am I getting to? I'm getting to responding to many of your videos where you say that the only purpose for your videos is to find 72s. I don't feel worthy to be a 72, so I'm not going to ask to be that. I've always known that I've had a mission, though, that I've been guided to living my joy. I have a fantastic life. I really do. I'm so privileged. And from the comments that you make and the comments that you let us see, there are so many people who would like to do more with the knowledge that you provide them. And not everyone can be a 72, of course not. But, you know, here on this planet with the humans, or the monkeys, I mean, watching the prophecy movies, again, God, you've opened so many doors for me. But the humans, the hybrids, the Charistus hybrids, the Anunnakina hybrids. I don't know if Kurs have hybrids, but it doesn't really matter. But those of us who have the essence, who have some of the essence in whatever diluted form, that we want to do something to help you, even if it's not on the front line, even if it's to make us more worthy of your fight, your battles on our behalf. And integrating and sitting with all of these different threads, rediscovering the nobility of the masculine, understanding this bigger picture, this bigger knowing of the warfare that is around us, that surely there must be something that us little people can do for you, for the Christus, for the cause. And so whenever I write to you, I always seem to put my foot in it, that I don't ask the right question, or, you know, I don't explain myself well in words, although I do like, I have the hubris to think that I might be good with words, but maybe I'm not as good as I like to think I am. But anyway, I want to teach. I want to teach those who feel called to help you, but who cannot immediately lock in to anything formal, really. I want to guide, uplift, inspire warriors to be worthy, honorable, noble, lone wolf warriors on their own, who want to help the cause, who want to help you, the Christus, the Anunnakina.
Okay, there's one thing that is bugging me, has been bugging me for years. It's not Christus. It's Charistus. It's not Maitre, it's Metre. And it's Anunnakene. Charistus, Metre, Anunnakene. Now you know.
But I think, you know, the story that comes to mind, you've mentioned it, but most people know it as when the angels came to Abraham in, I think, Sodom, or was it Gomorrah? I'm not that strong on biblical knowledge. Or the Lord came to Abraham to speak to Abraham and warned him that he was going to destroy these cities. And Abraham asked the Lord if he could find 50 good people, would he spare them? And the Lord said yes. Anyway, then Abraham finagled him down to 10. I want to increase the number of good people to help you, to be worthy of this battle. I don't know if that's the right motivation. I don't know. Anyway, I think this is long enough for you to have to listen to. I don't know if I'll even send this to you. I was watching the Baroness Christine testimony today, and it inspired me to do this video. She was saying that you hear, you know everything. So I may not even need to send this to you. This may just be enough. respect, Dante. Great respect. And Azazel, thank you. Just thank you.
No, I just heard a good testimony. I have no reasons not to believe this person. Gave a true testimony. Wonderful lady with a good heart. And I trust her today. But can I trust her tomorrow? Can I trust her tomorrow? That's the issue. Because today she swore allegiance to the cause. And I believe her. I felt. So I believe her. But about tomorrow? Tomorrow is another day. And you don't know what's going on. You don't know what's going on. People change like that. People, and I've seen this happening thousands of times. People that swore allegiance to the cause, but then they turn. Now, sometimes they turn because they want. There's a prize. The other side gives them a prize. Switch. 72s and not only. Courageous hybrids and on. People are not even courageous hybrids or 72s, but that are humans that serve the cause, business owners and so on and so on. And the other side gives them a prize. Switch. And we'll give you this Ferrari, I'll give you this 10,000 euros, I'll give you a house, or whatever it may be. Power. You want to become the mayor of this town? We'll help you. And so they switch. You just saw yet another testimony of someone who swore allegiance to the cause. But like her, I had thousands and thousands and thousands before. And I'm not even talking about 17,000 years ago. Otherwise, I would have millions. I'm just talking about the last few months. There were thousands of people swearing, dedicating themselves to the cause. And when they're speaking to me, when they send these messages, I feel what's in their heart. And if I feel good about it, I accept them. Not 72 level, that's above that's here. But I can accept them. I can start talking with them, giving them little by little tidbits of information, allowing them to talk to me, which is not something that most people can do. But I open the communication highway just because I feel. But just because I feel doesn't mean that people cannot change their feelings, or the people cannot be bought by the other side, because the other side is not sleeping. We are not sleeping. They're definitely not sleeping.
Now, I had no idea at the time that I sent it that he was going to even consider using it. It wasn't my intention for sending that. It was just intended to be a video of thanks, of gratitude, of appreciation for finally finding my way home. I know many of you have similar resonances upon having discovered Dante's work, Dante's channels, various channels. For those of you who haven't yet had the pleasure and have found your way here for some unknown reason, random reason, I really can't offer any gateway to those videos at this time. He still has, Dante still has channels available, but they're dormant, with no works, no videos on them. And the video that I did send him, it had a lot of additional narrative that he's kind of judiciously left out, probably for my own protection. And he's kind of snipped together a couple of bits, and but I found it very interesting what he chose to highlight, and it was so true. I was very disrespectful of the masculine. As I said, I grew up in basically an all-female household, and my father was emotionally and physically absent. He also died when I was in my late teens. So at that pivotal point where I was launching into adulthood, into womanhood, he wasn't available to guide, to offer feedback, to keep my emerging feminism in check or balanced. And I guess you could say that in hindsight, I view feminism as a very toxic movement. That's still my position. So that's something that I'll be speaking to in future. Now, the reason that I decided to highlight this video, and it's the only time that I've ever sent him one, so there's no other little testimonial pieces floating around on any of Dante's videos. But the reason that I chose to highlight it is not to validate myself or give myself any credentials with Dante, other than to I guess express my sincerity that that Dante has often said in that snippet, that he felt it, and that was the intention. It was intended to be a heart-to-heart with Dante, and I offer it to you as a heart-to-heart conversation with you. My position hasn't changed. I like, well, not really like, but when he was saying at the end, okay, that he felt I was sincere, but could he trust me in the future? And I've sat with that over the last few years. And I feel like I want to make another video for Dante, for Zazael, to say that I'm probably more entrenched now than I was then. I have a sense, and many of you will get what I'm talking about, but I personally have a sense that my awareness, my everyday awareness, and even my subconscious, my unconscious, they are different, my sleeping consciousness, at all times, I feel like I have a radio channel or some kind of, dial-in channel of where, of what frequency my attention is attuned to. And it's attuned to it's hard to explain. I feel my consciousness is attuned to the Charistos. Trying to say it right? The Charistos. The more I try, the worse it gets. The Charistos. Look, kick me in the butt. Dante, you're welcome. You've always done it. But yeah, my awareness is attuned to the Charistos frequency. Okay, and it's like that has become stronger, and it informs, it guides my daily actions, my choices, my considerations. I do so much, not soul searching so much, but my consciousness searching. It's like, okay, my soul is as pure as I can make it while being incarnated in a human body. But it's my motives, it's my shadows, it's the dark corners, where I can still be manipulated, where I can still be influenced, where I'm still vulnerable to not propaganda so much, but programming. Let's say programming. And it's like, I so want to be scrupulous that it delays me. It interferes with my actions, and I need to get over that. So can he trust me? Can the Charistos trust me? Can the cause trust me? I'm yours. I'm yours. Do with me as you will. So, going forward. I still want to teach. I'm sorry, but I know you said that people don't like teachers, but personally, I love teachers. I love learning. And, for a large chunk of my adult life until I discovered Dante's channel. I was searching. I was hungry for answers. I was hungry for knowledge, to be better, to make sense of situations around me, to transcend situations around me. So I was searching. The learning, the teaching, and searching all go together. So I kind of have a sense that my definition or my thought patterns about teachers might vary a little bit from Dante's definitions or understanding of teachers. It might be a language or a translation issue, not a problem. Because I know Dante had a very hard childhood and I had a very easy childhood. I was the golden child for my teachers, for my parents. And I have so much accumulated. Can I call it wisdom? I feel loath to call it wisdom. Insights. Let's call insights. I have so many insights to make life more or less frictioned, to make life smoother, to make life more elegant, to make life have less conflict. I want an elegant life for me, for all of us. So I've tried. I've attempted. That's probably a good word. I've attempted to structure my insights into segments, into sections, into packets that I call courses. But because Dante has encouraged me to put the brakes on being a teacher. That's something I've wrestled with, and it's delayed me. Now, I could look at all that as, as obstacles, as roadblocks. I smiled there because one of the things that does for me, I mean, yeah, initially when I get that feedback, I have a little bit of a sulk, a grumble. That the time period of those grumbles and those sulks get shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter as I figure out the dynamic behind it. And basically, it's like a challenge. Work smarter. Work hard, not harder, but take the challenge, girl. Take the challenge. Don't become a teacher like everybody else that wants to, like, teach. That wants to be not, I want to say authoritarian, but that's not the right connotation. But come from a position of authority, like, I'm smarter than you, I know things that you don't know. And that is the dynamic I don't want to impart, because I've been gifted with the privilege of an easy life that many of you have not. And it's not to say I'm rich, it's to say that my life has been supported through obstacles in the most gracious ways that I couldn't have planned for. And it's like the ways have been cleared for me to have exactly what I want. And what I wanted from this life was time for my headspace, my soul space. And it's, I would say I'm an extrovert, but I love my alone time. I really love my alone time, because I can sort things out internally without having to interact, without having anyway. So with this privileged life, I've been gifted with opportunities to see patterns, to have ideas, concepts that are not mainstream. They might have been informed by books I've read, authorities of, like, not well, okay, yeah, I'm a conspiracy theorist. Although these days conspiracies are what the mainstream feeds you. Excuse me. So I've been given the headspace to come up with ideas, to test those ideas, to challenge those ideas for internal consistency. And I've come up, look, I've life tested these. These are not just conceptual things. It's like, so what I'm getting around to saying is that going forward, I plan to share a lot of life-tested insights. I like that word, insights, that I invite you to explore for yourselves, to consider, to play with, to try out. I will not suggest anything to you that I don't wholeheartedly believe in and support. I will only share with you what I sincerely believe will lift you, expand you, make you soar. Not soar as in painful, but soar as in flying. one of the courses that I've had on the back burner to structure, the working title is How to Live as Your Higher Self in This Daily World. And that's something that I believe so strongly in, but a lot of the components of that require understandings that kind of get pocketed into other courses, and it's like a kaleidoscope. And this is one of the challenges that I experience, that my thought process are not linear. They are multidimensional, interweaving. I like the term kaleidoscopic. It's like there's no orderly way to present this, and that's one of the struggles that I've had, is like, where do I start without going back like 6 steps? And anyway. So the answers the answers are emerging within me. One of the answers is to make like possibly videos a la Dante style. Okay, those sort of fractured snips here and there and here and there. But then I'm being presumptuous that, I have the insight, which I don't, on how to unfold. Okay, this dynamic of intention versus technique. Okay. That's the essence of the delays. That's the essence of my struggle. Intention versus technique. So, okay. I one of the reasons, backtrack. One of the reasons I allow myself to present myself as waffly and as untogether as I'm doing is because I feel many of you may be having similar issues, maybe having similar internal battles. And if you can look at me and say, well, if she can do it, I can do it too. Okay, that is really the message that I want to broadcast to this particular channel, to the viewers here. So if I can do it, if I can muddle my way through all these nebulous counter programs that work against us, that work to keep us small, then you can do it. Okay? You don't have to do it my way. I'm offering suggestions. So in my teachings, is there a term for a package of suggestions that isn't a course? Or that a course that isn't full of teachings but suggestions? So that's something I'll ponder. But anyway, so going forward, my light, my lighthouse light that guides my journey forward is to help you live larger, to help you live your higher self. Okay, now, for those of you who know what I'm talking about when I refer to Dante and the Christus, okay, I'm going to frame it in a way of live as your Christus self. Okay, we all have various essences within us. And Dante himself said that he had Vash and Met essence as well as Christus essence. Okay, but it's like also what he says, the man in the mirror, the woman in the mirror. You try to be better. Okay, so what I would love to do is pull out or tug at your Christus essence and encourage it to be part of your daily life until one day that's all you are. That's all you are. Now, for me, that took about 30, 40 years. You might be smarter than me and, are able to do it in a few years. Because I see so many of you who get caught up in the forces that work against life, the forces that are not full of friction, but encourage friction, that encourage dissent and conflict, okay, and that you get caught up and feel self-righteous about it, and that self-righteousness is full of friction. There are better ways. Okay, here's another idea that I want to throw in. I believe the future can be utopian for a large part of life. It's like it doesn't have to be more negative than positive. In fact, I believe life can be a whole lot more positive with only a small, that seed of negativity, which is called free will. Sorry, I'm launching into things that I should be talking about separately in other videos. But, okay, let me tidy it up. If you were ascending, and if you arrived at your ascension destination, and you, let's call it heaven, okay? If you were in heaven, and everything was peaceful in your realm, and everything was sweet and beautiful and joyful and just, I don't know how you would define your heaven, but you became aware of a realm that was maybe one you had been to before, or maybe that was like a sister realm or a brother realm, like a sibling realm, okay, that it was on the same level of where you had journeyed from. And there were egregious dynamics in play that harmed a lot of people, that hurt a lot of people. Gratuitous cruelty. Would you be able to continue your pleasant life in heaven? Would you continue to just pretend that those weren't happening? Or would you feel called to perhaps, would you be able to sit with yourself in heaven and just carry on? I know I wouldn't. But then for you to go, to get yourself involved in lifting that realm to a higher frequency, if you like, a higher level, a higher way of being, would you want to go in with all your dramas? Look, all these little expressions you see cross my face are because I'm having counter thoughts and catching myself in hypocrisies or misspeakings. this may be a video that I don't insert into this first one. Okay, so hopefully this has been either informative or uplifting, maybe both, but one or the other is fine. And I'm going to make a promise. Yes, a promise, public, at least weekly. At least weekly I will put out a video from here on out. They may be short, they may be long, they may incorporate videos from other sources, from non-Dante sources that I think are really, really powerful in their content. I'm also going to link a lot of things, link a lot of things in the posts that you can make in YouTube. So just like a comment or like a little image or article that I can just bring to your attention. So if you do choose to be a follower of this particular channel, then make sure you suss those out as well. So I will see you next week. Oh, and maybe more than one a week, depends how full of inspiration I am that I feel I need to get out and share with you. But yes, so live as a Christus. Play with that idea. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, live as your higher self. What would that look like for you? Okay, just in this world, not in some make-believe world or something that you have to access with your imagination, astrally, whatever. But in this tangible, physical world, living as your higher self, living as your Christus self, what would that look like? What would that feel like? Okay, so just day-to-day, nothing extraordinary, no epic adventures necessarily. If you feel inclined, let your imagination soar there. But yeah, just day-to-day, what would that look like? All right, I will see you soon. Ciao.